Since the popularization of digital cameras, and especially camera phones, shooting film has gotten more and more inaccessible. In the last couple of years, we've seen Kodak raise their prices numerous times, Fujifilm discontinue a whole slew of film camera prices steadily raising, many film camera repair shops going under, and ultimately a lot of the infrastructure for film taking a hit. Which got me thinking, will there ever be a point in time that this film renaissance or film bubble will burst, forever changing the hobby as we know it? Now, long story short, I don't think that this will happen, at least in the near future, but there are some factors pointing towards the death of film, which I do think are hard to ignore. Kodak, the only major manufacturer of color film, has stated in the past that they have increased prices to price some consumers out of purchasing, causing less demand and allowing them to meet the current quota. With that being said, Kodak this past November actually shut down their whole film production factory to upgrade said factory, which kind of sounds bad, but it's not as bad as it sounds, and we'll cover that more later. Kodak also put out a statement being more stringent on selling their motion picture film to people and labs to respool and resell. While I'm guessing they're cracking down mostly momentarily to keep their current film stock high while they upgrade their facility, there is a chance with Kodak's new purchase that they're being strong-armed to hold their unique product closer to home. Also, in many countries, shooting Kodak film is incredibly expensive. I know I've gotten a handful of comments from people from South America and Southern Asia saying that it doesn't make sense for them to shoot Kodak because it's just too expensive, and if they can't get their hands on Vision 3 respooled, well then they're going to have a significantly more difficult time to be shooting a way that they actually like to. Not to mention that Fujifilm has slowly been wading out of the film waters and diving headfirst into digital cameras that emulate film. Look at the crazy popularity of the X100V and the cameras that have derived from it. It's small, has tactile settings on the camera body, has film simulations and shoots, and looks like film, all while being able to access your photos instantly and avoiding the processing fees that come with it. It certainly seems more and more like convenience trumps the actual workflow of film, but it's not all bad. In fact, in many ways, I do think that this upcoming year in 2025 could be the biggest year we see for film yet. 2024 has set the stage with some new film and camera releases, which could open up the floodgates for film in 2025 and beyond. Which, before I explain, let's hear a word from our sponsor. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with thousands of classes led by industry experts across film, illustration, design, freelance, productivity, and much more. Skillshare can help take your career, skills, hobbies, passions, or side hustles to the next level. I've also elevated my cooking game recently with their whole slew of culinary options to learn and have fun with. Is there a better time than the winter coming up to hunker down and spend some time learning with Skillshare? The first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial with Skillshare, so get started today. Like I said, this past year we've seen 2 film cameras get released in the Pentax 17 and the Rollei 35 AF. Jeff Bridges is bringing back his beloved wide lux to production and is aimed to release this next year. Additionally, Pentax has been pretty transparent in the past about their film photography project plan to release more cameras, and I would assume we would see or at least hear some more news from them coming soon. I know a premium point-and-shoot camera was talked about, and a 35mm SLR was also mentioned in addition to some other cameras along the way. There's also this crazy handheld large format camera in Japan that again is slated to come out this upcoming year. On top of that, in the last couple of years, despite losing a good amount of films, we've actually gained some as well. Orwo's black and white film from a couple years ago, Cinestill's 400D in 35mm and medium format, and more recently Harman Phoenix in 35mm and 120. Lucky Film in China also has their old factory back up and running and is currently in the process of producing a 100 speed color film, which would be a unique emulsion for them. Obviously good news for us in the film industry. There's also been some other films that come out that are supposedly new stocks, but I'm not sold on that fact yet, so I had a tough time mentioning them here. Despite Kodak's factory pause, I'm hoping this means that we'll get some more cheaper priced film coming soon. With a bigger factory, hopefully that means a easier, cheaper way to produce the film in mass, but I'm not really holding my breath. With that being said, as of now, Kodak Gold, especially in 120, is super affordable, and it gets close enough to the Portra 400 look that I'll definitely be picking some up in the coming days. It also seems in the last year or so, many film labs are doing well, growing their brands and services, and in many cases offering respooled motion picture film with their branding. At first, I was unsure if this was negatively or positively affecting photographers and the film photography industry, but in places where Kodak film is almost inaccessible, having having a respooled localized version can be super important for people who want to shoot film in those areas. This Vision 3 motion picture film is also doing well in the movie industry, with more and more films each year choosing to shoot on film, which indirectly should help and hopefully affect us. In 2023, there were 60 films that were filmed using Kodak motion picture film, which doesn't count the hundreds of independent productions that used it as well. Outside of that, Intrepid, a large format camera company, is continuously bringing out new cameras, lenses, accessories, keeping the large format game alive and well going into the future. Lomography is also constantly creating and remaking new cameras and new experimental film, which in my opinion is a very much needed place in the still film space. And as much as we want to hate it, Kodak's Super 8 camera is very much real and shows at least some potential possibilities of more cameras like this coming in the future. Maybe a 35mm camera, maybe a more accessible Super 8, who knows. Regardless, it's easy to be fearful for the future of film, especially with the growing popularity of digital cameras and phone cameras. However, it feels like now more than ever, film is getting more popular with a small subset of people, kind of like vinyl was doing in the early to mid 2000s. Now, I don't necessarily think it'll get as popular as vinyl, but we are seeing in real time the interest for film cameras, film, the film aesthetic, and many of these new products that have come out. Seemingly more and more companies are understanding that film isn't going anywhere anytime soon and investing in their future with it. To me, the future is really bright with film photography, despite some interesting setbacks we've seen over the years. So what can we as consumers do to help hedge our bets and keep this hobby alive? Now, I think it's easy to get caught up in the consumerism and materialism of the modern world. I do think that buying into at least some of these projects is the best way that we can help continue to see more of these come to light. Now, I'm not saying go broke investing in all these products that you certainly don't need, but from my opinion, invest in one product or one company that you really like their product or see some future possibilities with them. It doesn't have to be a new camera, maybe it's a roll of Harvin Phoenix's film, but the more we can show support both with their products, but also on social media, the more these companies will be willing to continue to invest in more products and ways to shoot film in the future, which will only help us going forward. Otherwise, that's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the state of film and how film will go in 2025. Like I said before, I think the future is bright and we're going to be seeing a lot of new products and a lot of new products get revealed this upcoming year, so I'm stoked for that. I would love to hear what products you guys would be most excited to see this upcoming year, or what products do you think will be unveiled this year, as I think you guys always have some really good educated opinions that sometimes fly over my head prior to releasing the video. Otherwise, that'll do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Till the next one, stay safe, stay shooting. Adios.